Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. I feel so bad for poor Charvie. I mean, not just because he's losing his fur. Actually, his fur is growing back. If you take a look, his fur is thin, but it's growing back across his back. Not only just in patches, but just all together. I don't know why. I think it's stress. Hamsters are so easily stressed out. But he was lying in bed. And I was trying to wake him up, and he was just not waking up. And so I pulled his bedding away, and I was petting him, and he was just sleeping. So he's really tired, and I'm going to put him back. I wish his fur would grow back faster. I am so sorry that it hasn't. I wish I knew what to do. He looks sad because his fur is coming off, and yet his fur is also growing back, so he's really scruffy looking. But he's a sweetheart, and the lack of fur is not hurting him. He's doing really, really good, and I'm going to cover him back up with his tissues so he can go back to sleep. There you go, Charv. Thank you so much. He's a sweetheart. I really like him a lot. I have had sweetheart hamsters throughout my life. Have to make sure I'm centered. Sweetheart hamsters throughout my life. Some of them have been mean and cruel and vicious, and some of them have been savage and yet wonderful. And some of them are like Jarvey, who's just wonderful from beginning to end. I mean, as much as I liked my big hamster Patches, and she was huge. She weighed 1.5 pounds, and she was not fat. I mean, most hamsters that you get are much, much smaller than 1 pound. They're not that big. But she was a monster. She was huge. And like I say, she was not fat. She was just big. And what we would do is I would get on my scale, weigh me, and then grab her, get on the scale, and then subtract the difference. And no matter what I did, it was always 1.5 pounds. So she was pretty big, but she was savage, as well as being wonderful. She had several litters of babies, but I learned quite quickly, you don't touch her babies at all, even when their eyes are open and they're wandering around, because if she smells something that's not her smell on them, she killed them. She would just kill them. So I lost a couple babies to her that way, and then stopped until they got older. Now I had another wonderful little hamster called Goldie, because she was golden. She looked like a little golden egg. And she was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful little sweetheart. What she did is you could even grab her babies at almost any time. But the thing that I really thought was super, super cool is she had her babies and she was doing fine. She was like just leaning down and suckling her babies one time. They were all just drinking milk. And then Patches had a runt that was gonna die. And I didn't want it to do that. So I figured, hey, the odds are it's going to die anyway, so this isn't going to be any worse. So I picked the runt up out of Patches' cage, and as Goldie was laying there, I took the little guy and I set it down on top of her, right with her other babies, knowing she's probably just going to sniff it and then kill it. But it was going to die anyway. But the thing was, she looked at it, she sniffed it, and then she moved so that it could get to a nipple, and then she adopted it as hers. And that was her baby from then on. And she took care of it and grew it up, and it was awesome. She was that kind of hamster. She was wonderful. But I've got good hamsters and bad hamsters and fuzzy hamsters, and even bad hamsters aren't bad. I mean, they're not evil. They're just, they have their own personalities, their own lives, their own desires. Last night, though, of course, well, not of course, but I picked up Mama Squeak. She was lighter. I could feel it as I picked her up. She did not feel as heavy. So when I gave her an examination, she's lost some meat on her. She's bony. She's not too bony yet, but the process has started. She's losing her meat. Her hips are getting bony. You can feel her leg bones. You can feel her hip bones. You couldn't before. Age is finally catching up to her. So it's before too long. She's gonna be gone, and that's sad. But life is life. mean, I've lost so many hamsters, they rarely live very long at all. If my hamsters last 2 years, I'm doing well. Mama Squeak is one of those that has lasted more than 2 years. Salivating around my dentures real hard. I forgot to glue them in this morning, so that's one of the reasons I keep clamping down. And then you'll see me like, I'm trying to keep my lower plate from popping up and spitting out as I talk. Thumbs up. I gotta call my denturist. Anyway though, I was talking with Brian Glenn about video editing last night. He's been watching my videos and he wants to use what he's learning about video editing on his own channel because he wants to start video editing on his channel. Very cool. Very awesome. Now, if anybody wants to learn from my edits, there's two big things that I want you to pick up from what I do. There is stuff to learn about things to do, and then there's stuff to learn about what not to do. Most of what I do is lessons on what not to do. The idea in public speaking, and this is basically public speaking, even though I'm just vlogging and rambling about nothing to a webcam, it's essentially public speaking. Now, if I can remember what I was going on about. Yes, so what you want to do when you're public speaking is you do not want to obscure your message. Your video is your message. Your idea is you want to get your message across. Now, I sabotage my own self because I think it's funny. When you are trying to get across a message, don't distract. That's why public speakers don't have, like, when they're coming up with one of their most important points that they want you to really absorb, that's why they don't suddenly bring out a marching band and have dancing girls and then a lion doing stuff as they give the speech, because you're going to be watching all that. And then when it's done, you're going to go, what? Can you repeat that? But he's already gone on. So you don't want to distract your audience. But I distract. Oh, there's a gnat from my open window again. I hate those things. But I deliberately will do weird edits that undercut what I'm talking about because I think it's funny to self-sabotage myself that way. I don't have the discipline to write a script. Now, it's not just like low self-esteem that does that. I actually learned this from a friend of mine back in the mid-90s. He was taking acid and all this with his friends and such, and was, drank a lot and took various other things as well. But what he would do all the time is he would play tricks and games with his future self in the present. So we'd go, I'm really going to need this. This is very important. And he would show me he's doing this. And he would say, I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it back up here on the top shelf of this bookcase. I'm going to forget it's there and I'm going to be looking for it. And that's what he would do. Just set himself up to just little things like that, playing tricks on himself, his future self, from the past. And that's kind of what I do, unfortunately, is the self-sabotaging, is just because I think it's funny. But the idea is don't distract from your message. And my edits, I have learned a lot that's good. I've learned how to do the transitions better, how to use transitions so that they disguise cuts, how to make cuts work better with transitions and overlays. And I've learned a lot about editing. And it's really, really cool. I enjoy it. It's one of my most favorite things to do in the world, just after recording. But so much of what I do is done to distract. Like when I suddenly will cut in the middle of what I'm talking about to do my intro. Don't do stuff like that. That's not good. That's not right. That's distracting from your message. When I have the weird edits and suddenly cut with the filters, that's distracting from your message. I just do that sort of thing because I get bored easy. I have the attention span of a butterfly on cocaine. I flit from subject to subject. I get bored so fast. By the time one game loads up, if it takes more than a minute, I'm ready to turn it off and go play something else. When I'm trying to do stuff, it's got to be entertaining or I am bored and wanting to do something else. So I flit from subject to subject, and it's rough. Now, the only reason I say that, and the only reason I do flip from subject to subject, is because of what's going on up here. With my post-acute withdrawal syndrome, widower brain, depression, bipolar disorder, all of these things make thinking and concentrating almost impossible. And especially, I've been dealing with super, super bad depression since, I've been depressed my entire life. I have been medicated and unmedicated at points, and sometimes it's been out of control to the point that I was hurting myself badly, and then I've brought myself back with medication and therapy. So I've been largely untreated that way. So let's see if I can remember what I was talking about. Yes, it's the fact that I forget stuff all the time, isn't it? Because of this, it's just impossible to keep things straight in my head. And it's not unfortunate. It is unfortunate, not uncommon. That's the word I was looking for. Because everything I've said, it's like, my time sense is a mess to my therapy. And he says, yes, that's what happens when. I said, well, I've got this. And it's what? And he goes, yes, that's what happens when. So each of these things that I've had, the headaches, the concentration problems, forgetting everything, these are all grief, depression, mourning, and more. And ever since 2003, when I was taken out of the workforce because of the injury to my back, and it's bad still. I mean, just the other day, I was having what felt like electrical shocks, like somebody had attached a car battery to my foot. That's what happens. Back injury. I've got scar tissue, peripheral neuropathy in my legs and all that. And so periodically it feels like my toes and my feet are being shocked by car batteries and electrodes. And it hurts like hell, but there's nothing you can do. It's just nerve damage. But because of all that, I can't work. I can't even stand up for more than 20 minutes at a time in one place. If I can walk for hours. Then I gotta sit down when I get back for hours. So I can't be upright and doing stuff for too long because of my back injury, and it sucks even after all this time. Yes, primarily the damage is healed, but it's a chronic injury. And as they've discovered on people who have had surgeries, like 80 to 90% of people who come through surgery suffer from chronic pain the rest of their lives afterward. Chronic pain is awful. It's no fun. Thumbs up. And of course, I do not remember if this is part of a larger poem. It's in small letters so you can't see. It's Walt Whitman's. Do I contradict myself? Very well then, I contradict myself. I am large. I contain multitudes. That is all of us. Every single one of us. Now, I'm not talking about on this one, and nor was he talking about direct cognitive dissonance, where it's like, we're going into a trade war with China, and the tariffs have destroyed my town, and we're being just wiped off the map, and I think my daughter's going to die because we can't afford health insurance, but I'm going to go vote for the person that brought all of these policies into plan because I believe in what he does. Okay, cognitive dissonance there. Two things there that don't fit, and yet you make them fit. That's not what they mean, or he meant. What he just meant is natural, normal life with the way that you are with. It's like you go, I feel this way, and then you come across a situation that's similar to it, but you feel differently. It's like, well, you feel that way about this one thing, how can you not? It's like, well, do I contradict myself? Very well then. I contradict myself. I am large. I contain multitudes. We all do. Each and every one of us. Our minds are so small because they fit inside of these tiny little heads of ours. And our heads are very tiny. But our heads and our brains and our minds are bigger than the universe. And that's awesome. We can contain so much. And that's incredible. It is a very, very good thing. And now I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab. I'm going to go through and I'm going to thank 20 to 25 people. It's arranged because even though I'm counting in American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand, I get, well, all those things I said before. I lose track of what I'm doing, even watching this thing. So, yay. And if I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker. We're not really good at pronouncing things. Thumbs up for that. I'm better than most, but still far from perfect. And I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm going to go through and read them all afterward. In fact, I was reading them just before. I thumbs up each one I read. I answer as many as I can, so thank you all very, very much. It is appreciated. But, let me call up my Chrome. Ananas von Satan. Did I pronounce that? Is it Anan? Anan? I don't know the first part, but thank you very, very much. And Kirilinum, thank you very, very much. Gaia U, G-H-A-I-U. I'm so sorry, I can't pronounce the first part correctly. Thank you very, very much. Alyssa Rainbow Scat, thank you very, very much. Click to preview, greatly appreciated. Broken Robertson, I sure hope I got that right too. Tundra Keeper, greatly appreciated. Kathy Kitscat, thumbs up and thank you very, very much. I have a Tempur-Pedic electric bed. I had to get, it was a 6-inch thick mattress. I had to buy a 4-inch thick memory foam mattress topper because the 6-inch thick mattress was still too hard. Oof. And BLB Undead, greatly appreciated. Snowflake Canary, heck of a name, thank you very, very much. Isaac Penaflor, greatly appreciated. Thomas Gallant, or Tomas Gallant, thank you very, very much. Natalie Santos, greatly appreciated. Rafferty Webb, thumbs up and thank you. And Tall Dude 123, thank you very, very much. Mateus Alves, thank you very, very much. And Fight Fanner D9, thank you very, very much. Tom MC, I don't know if it's Muck or MC or whatever, but thank you very, very much. Edward NYGMA, I don't know how to pronounce that, and I'm very sorry, my sincere apologies. Spillerface, great. Did I do these already? 16 or 19? I cannot remember where I was. So I'm going to call that one 19. Let's hope. Yuval Grossman? Well, 19 was something else. That was 20 now. Yuval Grossman, you're now number 20. How about that? God, so... Sorry about that. I just get frustrated, even though I should. Living Dead Girl, greatly appreciated. Craven Blood, thumbs up and thank you. Ethan Watson, greatly appreciated. Beth M., thumbs up and thank you. And Cool Breeze Productions, thank you very, very much. Greatly appreciated. Each and every one of you. I'm sorry I got confused, and I'm sorry I beat my own head because I got confused and forgotten. My sincere apologies. I try not to do stuff like that. What was I going to say? I have struggled so hard to remember things this morning. It's not like I could write stuff down either. I've been thinking because first thing I woke up is I had to go downstairs and take a shower. I can't write stuff down on a dry erase board while I'm taking a shower. And then afterward, while I'm finished with the shower and drying off and getting, you know, dry and clean and brushing my hair, I can't write things down on a dry erase board there. So I came up here and got dressed and then got my whiteboard done, and then it's time to record. I didn't have time to write anything down. I'm very, very sorry. I do my best. I know I can't remember stuff, and yet I still don't write things down because when did I have time? Thumbs up. Anyway though, first off, I'm going to say if you could check out my game channel, that would be cool. I've got a game channel right down there. If you could check that out, help me get it monetized, that would be very awesome. Thank you very, very much. That would be very cool. And if you could check out my other links, I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, not Patreon, and Google+. No! Twitter, Facebook, Google+, GoFundMe, Patreon.com. There we go. I think that's all of them. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron, like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. But if you cannot donate, or you simply do not donate, I do take all good wishes. I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest, so thank you very much. And if you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. Definitely a good thing. If you could subscribe to the channel, that would be very cool and greatly appreciated. I would understand if you don't want to, but if you move from Harbinger, I'll try that in English. But if you could, let me try that in English. But if you are down with it, I will do my best to keep you entertained from now until the literal end of time. Thumbs up for that. Wow, that was hard to say. And of course, if you wanted to support me in ways without actually sending me money, I have an Amazon wish list. It's got stuff like fans and candy, hamster food, PlayStation 3. No matter where you are on the realm of financial stability, from dirt poor to highly rich, there's something for everybody. Do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. But if you could check it out, it'd be awesome. And I am partnered with Humble Bundle. I am a paid partner. I've been paid once. It'd be nice to get paid again. So if you like software, if you click the link and go there, Every time you use that link, I get paid. And they have software, game software, development software, e-books, e-comic books. It's awesome. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be past 20 minutes. So you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that is a very good thing, my friend. Oh well, so it's going to be past 20 minutes, such as life. You take care. I thank you very, very much for watching. It is vaguely? It is greatly appreciated. I was going to try and say very and greatly at the same time, and it came out fatally. Thumbs up.